Hi, everyone. I am Kate Daly from the ACW Communications Committee. I am here with Sommer Figone as part of our Beyond the Board series, in which we take a look at our Alliance of Channel Women board members. Sommer, thank you so much for being here with us today. Let's start with the basics. Tell us about you and your current role in the industry.
Yep. So as Kate said, I'm Sommer Figone at Rapid Scale, and we are a Cox Business company, part of Cox Business. And my team at Rapid Scale is really focused on field marketing. So specifically pipeline generation and enabling all of our sales teams to get closer to their prospects, their customers, their partners, whoever their core target audience is, with the right message at the right time. I have been with Rapid Scale for 11 and a half years, which seems crazy to say out loud. I started here actually at the end of my sophomore year at Chapman University. And so I think there were maybe like 13 to 15 people at that time at Rapid Scale. And so I really got to grow as a human. I truly grew up in the channel and with Rapid Scale, also as Rapid Scale was growing up as an organization. And I got to see us through the Cox acquisition, and now we're in major growth mode. So it's been a pretty unique journey and pretty cool.
Love that you got to kind of be there from the very inception and really watch it grow. That's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's rare.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about being at ACW. How did you come into ACW, and tell us about your journey from member to board member?
Yes. It was honestly me just saying yes to a lot of things that were presented to me. So a few years ago, one of my leaders at Cox Business, she was the event committee chair at ACW. She reached out to me, said she could use some more hands on the committee and asked if I wanted to be part of it. And I had heard of ACW over the years. I remember seeing the events at Channel Partners always promoted, and I was a little too shy to go to them myself and mingle with strangers without knowing anyone. And I'm an introvert. I really know that about myself. I know that I'm not great at proactively getting myself involved in networking opportunities or in new organizations. And so when something was this easily handed to me to get involved, I was like, you got to say yes. This is good for you, Summer. Do it. Um, so I got involved that year, helped plan that event. A year later, she stepped down from being the chair and they needed some co-chairs. And they asked me if I wanted to be one. So I said yes. And then later that year, I was asked if I wanted to be the secretary for the board because the secretary had stepped down. So I said yes. And then I became the events chair. And at that point, I felt involved enough that I felt confident applying to be on the board. And so here we are today.
So
Yeah,
well, we're happy to have you on the board.
thank you.
So moving beyond ACW work, what do you do when you log off at the end of the day? How are you promoting a healthy work-life balance for yourself?
I'll answer that in like two parts. What I do when I log off, I'm a really big reader. I've read 36 books this year. They're not necessarily books that are building my life skills. I really like to use reading as an escape from life. So I read a lot of fantasy, sci-fi, romance, all that fun stuff. I'm also on a softball team, which is so fun. I live near the beach, so I like to walk or bike to the beach a lot. A few weeks ago, I randomly bought a guitar at a secondhand store and was like, I'm just going to learn how to do this. And I've been quickly humbled. I downloaded an app and it's really hard and my fingertips already hurt, but I'm excited to try learning that. So those are just some fun hobbies. But in terms of work-life balance, I think boundaries is actually one of my biggest strengths when it comes to my professional life. Maybe not so much my personal life, but professional life, yes. Um, I did not really aspire to have a career in tech or in IT. It's not something that popped in my mind when I was in school. I actually studied entertainment marketing. So I thought I was going to do marketing for like movies and TV shows. And I realized that maybe wasn't a good fit for my personality. It's a little competitive. It's a little intense. And I found this role at Rapid Scale on the job board at my college. I thought it was going to be a summer internship. And as I said, 11 and a half years later, here I am. Um, but through those years, I've always been very, very honest with my managers that my job is just a job to me. And I feel like I should be able to say that out loud and it's okay. I will still always take it seriously. I will still always work hard. I care about progressing in my career. I care about producing quality work. But work is never going to be my life. That's just not the kind of person I am. And to have balance, I just have to make sure I'm showing that in small ways in my actions. So it might be if someone on the East Coast schedules like a 6:30 or 7 a.m. call with me, I respond and I say, can we shift this into my working hours? If I know it's something that's really not urgent. Or if I'm like really deep in a project and I'm really focused and someone calls me out of the blue, I try to be really mindful of not feeling like I have to answer the call, and I can call them back later. So it's really small boundaries like that that I think help me maintain the balance in my life, and it shows other people that I do have boundaries. So yeah.
That's huge. I think that's so important, especially having those boundaries. And I think that's one thing we learn as we sort of grow in our career is that
Yeah.
it's okay to say no sometimes.
Yes.
Um,
Much simpler way of putting it. Yes.
So, totally, off the cuff, but so you're a reader. I'm also a huge reader, and like you, I don't read to promote my career. I really do it as a form of entertainment.
Okay.
Any authors that you'd like to share that are, favorites or come to mind?
Right now, I'm in the middle of a sci-fi series, The Three Body Problem, and it's a Chinese series that was translated into English. So I'm on the second book. It's called The Dark Forest. I don't know how to pronounce the author's name, so you're going to have to look it up by the title. But that's really cool. It's like a very, very in-depth, like future world. It's about like an alien invasion coming to Earth. Um, but my favorites of all time are honestly just Pride and Prejudice and Little Women. So Jane Austen for Pride and Prejudice. I collect both of those books because over the years they've made like so many cool covers, so many beautiful covers of those books. So I think on my bookshelf they have like 16 copies of Pride and Prejudice right now because I just think they're so beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, one final question. What message would you like to share with viewers about the importance of women empowering women, especially in the channel?
Yes, I was thinking about this one as I was preparing for this, and I think whether we as women see ourselves as examples for the people around us, we are examples, and you're examples for people who are farther in their career than you. You're an example for people earlier in their career than you. And I just want everyone to remember that you are seen and you're noticed by the people around you, and your actions really speak for you. And so when you're kind and when you're a good listener, um, when you treat everyone around you equally and like a human, like that's very important to me. None of us are better than anyone else. It's noticed and it has an impact, and it makes people more comfortable coming to you as someone they can turn to for support. And then you start to realize who around you can go to for support. And I think that just builds this web of empowerment for each other. And so I've found that to be very true of the board I work with. Everyone is so supportive, so invested in making this organization better. And it's pretty awesome to be a part of it.
Love that. Well, Summer, thank you so much for sharing with us your insights and your experience. And to all of our viewers, thank you for joining us for this episode of Beyond the Board with Alliance of Channel Women.
Thank you, Kate.